Judy Pennington started reading some scripture and telling a story, and I'm on the cot on the other side of the room in the dark. You know, the dark, we always think of that as being a tough place, being in the dark and not needing the light, but sometimes when you need to gather yourself and think, the dark is a good place to be, because nobody can see you, and you can really feel and express what's inside you instead of being concerned about what somebody else might think. That was the case for me that night. And Judy closed out by reading Footprints in the Sand. And it was then that I realized that that's what had been going on in my life, that God didn't leave me, He was carrying me. It was such a comfort, and it was such a change. And it was at that moment that we joined hands again and became friends and lovers. And I started having and experiencing that peace that these women around me seemed to have that was evading me. And so as we go into this closing song, I want you to block out all the noise. Try. Block out all the noise and really focus on this song. Because tonight may be a turning point of some kind for you, and maybe it will even be one like I experienced that night. So Melissa and team, will you come up, please?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that
Just let them wrinkle. Right? Let them wrinkle. Oh, well, big deal. That choice on their part, but it's their choice, right? Yesterday afternoon, you got some great training from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And I'd like the following people to please stand. Heidi Lanier. Sue Walls. Cindy Barrett. Sandy. Heidi Sue, Cindy. There's Cindy. Okay, Cindy Barrett. John Wood. Your tool belt is full. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. But we're going to fill it up even more today. And for those of you who were here for the director's meeting, what did we have for lunch? Meat and potatoes. Right? More meat and potatoes today, so we're going to get started with it. Oh my gosh, these women have been selective and they have prepared to share amazing things with you this morning. And we're going to get started with your first skill sharpening business basic vision casting topic. And that is going to be booking is the lifeline of your business. Jackie Shaw, come on up here. And as she comes up front, I want to tell you how Mary Kay finished that sentence. Booking is the lifeline of your business. When you're out of bookings, you're out of business. Mary Kay, sweet little Mary Kay. Soft, gentle, sweet little Mary Kay was tough with us. And so we're going to be tough with you too. In the hall, you'll notice on your program, and it was in your agenda, that James Steinman is going to be taking more professional pictures for you, for your newsletter, your business cards. Okay, well, you've gotten it on your program. It's well explained on your program. I think I just told you. Get your professional picture taken by James Steinman. Okay, listen to me again. You in the black, go sit down. Jimmy is a photographer. He's going to take a professional picture of you, and he's going to business. And that is such an eye-opening look at your Mary Kay. Are you playing hobby, and does hobbies cost you money? It does. We want to make it a business. So today, are you ready to make this hobby into a money-making proposition? I say yes, right? Yes. So let me ask you this important question first. How do you feel about booking? Does anybody want to share? How do you feel about booking? Love it. Come on now. So where's the truth, people? Come on. Scared. There's an exciting one. Anybody else? How do you feel about booking?
Very nervous.
Discouraged, yeah? All right, so if you see the split in the room, that is so true. And so what I'm going to ask you, are you excited about it? Because you gotta love it. And if you don't love it, it's going to suffer in the long run. So here's what you got to ask yourself. Do you have the right attitude about booking? And so this is where I had to learn to have this proper attitude. And the first part of the right attitude is that we have an opportunity of giving to others. Do you look at booking as an opportunity to be giving to others? Do you believe that you have the best product out there? You have the opportunity to make others beautiful. You have a sincere interest in people. Letting others be more important is a great attitude.
You got your voice recorded?
Knowing that you're a great consultant, you say that. Know that you're prepared for your class. Say, I've earned the right than anyone else to hold this class. And then the last one is no thoughts of possible defeat. Do you have that right attitude? I'm going to tell you, during my career, there was not a time when that attitude was not correct. Wrong attitude. Thinking I'm obligating others. Is anybody out there thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to think, here comes that Mary Kay lady, want the booking, right? That you have doubted the products. You know, when I started 30 years ago, there was like liquid Crisco, solid Crisco, colored Crisco. Is it true? and it was something
at my age and young, oily, acne-prone skin, I was like, this is a great product. I don't use it, it's great. I love it. Well, you did, right? Yeah. So, at first I had the doubt in the Mary Kay product, of course, now. Unwillingness to learn. Being a former builder, I try and do everything, and I would try it my way, so that was a bad attitude. Another one was interested in only one in yourself. Didn't do that one. Lacking humility, lacking confidence. That's where I was at, lacking that confidence. Not preparing. That's an important part of wrong attitude. Not wanting something for nothing. I think there's a lot of people in this business, when we first come in, that maybe have a negative thought process of like, okay, I'm going to make some cash fast. And you need to look at it that you're going to school and you're making money while you're at school, not paying for school. That's what Mary Kay's first few weeks of business is all about. And not earning bookings. That's the wrong attitude. So I ask you, how was your attitude this morning? We need to tweak it. I also believe that we need to change our thought process on bookings. Bookings must be fun. Booking is the very foundation of our business. And if we don't love to book, our whole business will suffer. You must always remember that booking is a great service that we offer women. Do you truly believe that we are offering the finest skincare products available? Okay, of course you're going to answer yes. So then I ask you this, do you lack self-confidence when it comes to booking? If your answer is yes, I'm excited to share with you that confidence comes from knowledge, experience, and building yourself. Just keep practicing. When I joined Mary Kay almost 30 years ago, I lacked total confidence in myself. When I was asked, do you believe that you're the greatest Mary Kay consultant? I meekly said, no. But then I was offered the best advice. We were told to fake it till you make it. And I could be a Cheryl Simon, and I could be a Judy Quickie, because they were great. They made me great, because I was them. So that day, there was a day that finally came when I felt I made it. But that was only after hundreds of skincare classes. So we need to memorize. That confidence comes from memorizing our booking scripts. Do you know how to turn facial into a class? I can do 3 faces as easy as one, and I welcome this appointment to be shared with friends. Memorizing that booking script. We memorize the tentative booking approach. I understand that you need to check with your friends, but I found what works best is that you and I pick a time, and then we can reschedule if we need to. So those scripts are so important. Do you have things memorized? I needed to do that. Cheryl, I can still read, Cheryl Steinman and Judy, I can still read my flip chart. Some years ago, there was a man whose business was tanning ties, and he decided that if he could take a small core piece of leather and put it, memorize. Do you do that? That's because you've learned the script. Learn your scripts. It's so easy. This business is 15% technique. The rest is people skills. Love people. Remember that. Learn your skills. So I have put together an ABC for booking. So I'm going to go really fast and give you an A is for, of course, attitude. We are offering a great service and a great product. Have an attitude of gratitude. Customer care will take you everywhere. Remember that. Put that on your desk. Customer care will take you everywhere. B is for business cards. Use them for everything. You take and put a business card when you're sending the light bill, the credit card bill, you stick one in. And when you leave tips, you put a business card in there. The key is to focus on getting the person's name and contact info. That was a hard one for me. I could eventually hand them out, but I couldn't ask for their name. So always jot down on the back for you as a reminder the date and where you met this person. And C is for choices. Offering choices for appointments. We learned this from Mary Kay Ash. What's better for you, beginning week or the end of the week? Morning or afternoon? Do you have those choices? Don't ask, would you like to have a facial? Don't ask a yes or no question unless you want a yes or no answer. Do you have a credit card? Yes. I want to ask that question. Do you want to have a skincare class? No. Don't ask that question. D, date book. It's a consultant's very best friend. Keep it full. The busier you are, the busier it is, the better you are. And it's the most valuable aid that you possess. Record all your facials, classes, unit meetings, interviews, workshops in it. People like to do business with busy, successful people. Do you want to go to the dentist where they say, well, I have air anytime you want, it's all open? Or the doctor? Or do you want to go, wow, I can fit you in? It's the same thing with your customers, with you as a beauty consultant. So even if you have to take walk Sparky, instead of walking Sparky, you got appointment with Sparky, your dog, by the way. Whatever, right on there. But I also want to remind those people, oh man, I'm only Andy. I want to remind those people that with the date book, the IRS respects you for keeping paper trails. So and if you have all your information on it, you're completely 100% covered. Because after your calendar goes away, correct, on your phone, you're done. E is for enthusiasm. Keep going. And just give you a reminder that you need to sell yourself. Are you excited? Are you looking forward to the new intoxicating new Bella Volara Midnight? That's going to be exciting new fragrance. F is for facial boxes. They're simple. MK Connections, $15. Place them in florists, place them in hair salons, dentist office. G is for goal. Have a goal for booking goals, 3x3, 5x5. Judy has reminded us of that. H is for hostess coaching. Clearly define the hostess role in your class and give her a list of things to do that ensures her to have the best possible hostess credit. I is for image. Always look the part of a beauty consultant. And make sure you get that picture on your business card so that when there's days when you slip in to get a note and you're not 100% on, you can actually hand them the card and go, oh, that's you. J is for joy. Have fun in this business. It is simple. It's not hard, but it's simple. Enjoy it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Life is not a dress rehearsal. K is keep a list of possible facials that you have coming up. So that you can always follow up. And when somebody postpones, you can say, hey Deb, I'm going to be out in your area tomorrow. Can I just stop by and show you the new Apply line? So that you can have that list, you can always follow up. And you're always going to be in their area, right?
Keep a list if possible.
L is for ladder of success. You climb the ladder of success by consistently placing orders. When you have bookings, I don't know if you sell product, orders, and it all goes together. M is for men. Don't miss out on the men's skincare line. N is for no. Don't take it literally. No means maybe, and maybe means yes, okay, eventually. So just remember, no is a safe word to so many people. So just don't take no personally. O is for opportunities. They're really everywhere. Listen for opening dialogues. Arm yourself with Mary Kay questionable pieces, meaning ask your director to get you a nice piece of jewelry when somebody says, oh, that's a great necklace. You can say, yes, I've earned that in my career. I've won that in my career. Don't get Mary Kay to go, what you do? You're able to open that door. Or you got a cute little lipstick pin and they go, oh, that's so cute. I said, yes, that reminds me of my business. Well, what's your business? So make sure you're armed with that. P is for pampering. Remember, pampering time. That is a key word to so many people, because especially in today's day and age, people are exhausted and tired. Q is for queen. Treat your hostess like a queen. And I give each one of my hostesses a fresh flower. Kim, could you really quickly stand up and tell them about, I teach my unit to do the same. Could you quickly just say what happened to the other day?
Yes, recently I had this hostess who is a phenomenal person, and she's a minister's secretary, she's really herself. And I really treated her like a queen. And one of the things we were taught is to present them with a flower. It was a dollar rose, literally at a grocery store, but they wrapped it beautifully in baby's wrap. And when I presented that to her, she literally had tears in her eyes. Because very rarely are we presented with flowers in front of the class. So I told her this is just the start. And I have to finish with various signifying, particularly how I would card.
Right in the
Thank you,
bottom.
hostess. So I thought, oh, wait on my card, I'll go see her in person.
Yeah.
When I found
Little bit
that
of ice.
in the mail, she sent me a thank you card, telling me how thank you for making me feel like a queen. So,
Great job. Tell her position. You want all the friends, but I want to be a queen too. So you won't have any trouble with bookings. R is for responses, always make it positive. S is for schedule. Schedule your appointments soon after the initial contact. Remember, no more than 2 weeks out. We as directors, when we hear you say, I got one in November, we already know it's canceled or postponed. T is for thank you. Make sure you send your thank you notes before the skincare class so that she knows that you're serious about your business. U is for unique. You are unique and special. And just be you, okay? And always remember to read everybody's sign. Everybody's got a unique sign, but make them feel important. V is for variety. Offer all kinds of variety of classes, from Las Vegas show legs to hairy legs to Tootsie Wootsies or whatever. Offer all the classes that are out there. W is for women. Women love to buy, but they don't want to be sold to. So make sure that we're teaching skincare and color cosmetics. X is for going the extra mile. Always go the extra mile. Always keep a promise. Your reputation is your booking magnet. Y is for you. Take time for you. You deserve the pamper treatment yourself, and you can't help others feel better if you're not feeling better. You don't feel good about yourself. So, and Z is for zillion. Have zillions of bookings in your date book and have the Mary Kay attitude. In closing, I want you to take this challenge. It's 21 days. It takes 21 days to form a habit. Please write this down as an affirmation for yourself. I love to book. Can you write that down? I love to book. Not I love to book. I love to book. It is the most exciting thing I do in my business. It is the most exciting thing I do in my business. Everyone wants to book an appointment with me. Everyone wants to book an appointment with me. I am the best booker in Mary Kay. Look in the mirror in 21 days. When you convince the girl in the mirror, you will be the best booker. Thank you. Oh, I want to know who loves sales. Who doesn't? Be honest. There's some out there that don't. Not everybody's cut out to do sales, but you learn it. One of the great things that starts out with being a really good salesperson, which is not really what we like to be called, but it is what we're doing, is to kind of make it sound nicer, is that you really need to build a relationship with your customer. So that's really, honestly, in this whole business, but we're talking about sales right now. And if you build that relationship with your customer, you're going to find out exactly what she likes, what she doesn't like. You'll find out her needs, you'll find out about her family. So you'll have a way every time that customer calls you for a reorder or it wants to book a class. Actually, when you get really good with relationship building, they seek you out to book a class. So they don't run from you. So, and one nice thing about when you're building relationships with your customers, you can program her hostess credit when she does book a class with you around what she wants. So it's really good to have a common theme with your hostess credits and what each one gets to make it easier, but sometimes it's better to personalize it, because you might get a gal that's not into skincare, but she loves body care and fragrances. So never eliminate those people that have other needs that aren't exactly what you'd like them to be on, because eventually they will get on what you want. So it's really important. It's really important to have product, ladies. You can't get excited about sales if there's nothing on your shelf. You hear that all the time, but that is so true. And I have some of my consultants in my unit are fabulous sellers, but when their shelf is real low, their sales are real low. So you got to have the product on your shelf, even if it's a slow process and you're just building to build the inventory. Have the things that you know they're going to be out of. The foundation, the mascara. Foundations they always run out of yesterday, and they want to stop by tonight after work, and you're like, well, you got to wait for 4 to 7 days till I get it. It's not going to happen. They'll go to Walmart, they'll go somewhere else. So have product on your shelf. And again, that's going to let them know that you're concerned about them. So it's kind of another thing that ties you to them with your relationship with them. My hostess credit right now that I'm using, just real quick, you guys, I mean, there's so many awesome ones floating around out there, but my brain doesn't think like that, and I get really confused, so I just keep it really simple. I do it's not, you all seen it out there, but seen it around out there. It's $100 free to party with me, and basically, they get I give this to her in her hostess packet. You know, she gets books, receipts, and a sheet. And on the top, I'll put a little note there when her party is. And basically $20 to hold the party on the original date. She's not going to back out because she wants the extra $20. Have 5 guests present who are 18 and older and do not currently have a consultant. She gets another $20. She'll get another $20 if her total party sales is $200, not including cap. She'll get another $20 if she has $100 or more in outside sales before I even get there. So that's really technically a $300 party. And 2 bookings, she gets another $20. So you guys, this is so simple. Makes your brain not think, and it just works. Cheryl taught this when I was a brand new consultant 26 years ago, and I tell you, I'm finding myself always going back to this. So it's just simple, it hits all the facts, and it just works. So, and if she doesn't do some of that, you can split that in half, or you can up it, or whatever. But a lot of people ask about hostess credit, what you use, because there's so many out there. But find what works for you, and that just works. Basically, personalize their classes also, so the discounts that you're giving out is going to work for them. You guys have PCP, they get a gift then. You know, Michigan, they say economy's so bad here, which I'm sure it is. But bottom line is, if that's kind of what people are tuned into, then what you need to do is give them little discounts throughout the year. I do 4 times a year, I do a mail-back sale, or it used to be called a phone-a-thon. Same thing, mail-back sale just ends up happening when you have too many customers and you can't be on the phone more than 6-7 hours. And do you all know what that is, or do you want me to tell you? No. Yes? Phone-a-thons are just basically one-day sales that they call from 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. You pick your hours that you want. The first couple hours are the most expensive discount that they get, like 25% off their order. The next 2 hours are 20% off. You work that out however you want, but every 2 hours you change the discount so they have time to call you. What happens when you start picking up too many customers? They can't call you because it's busy. Even call waiting's going crazy, or whatever else you're using. So that's a phone-a-thon. When you pick up too many customers, you can do a mail-back sale. And a mail-back sale is, I just take a letter and I thank them for their business throughout the year, and they get to pick out their discount also, and that goes off how many items they order. I usually run it for 2 weeks, and it gives them a day or 2 to get in the mail, and a day or 2 to get it back to me. And basically, the discounts go 1 to 2 items, or 1 to 3 items, they get 15% off. 4 to 6 items, they get 20% off. And 7 or more items, they get 25% off their order. And so what's really nice about that is they can mail it back to you. I like it mailed back to me because they always put a little note to me. It just makes me feel like I'm doing my job. You can do a little survey. You want to know how your customer service is on that letter out to them. So at the bottom you say, you know, I'm really good about forgetting to put things in bags sometimes. So I'll say, have I forgotten to give you anything? Check that off. You know, is your service, am I doing my job? You know, and they just send back the nicest notes to you on those mail-back sales. And the sales are never, ever under $1,000. I mean, whether you're doing a phone-a-thon or a mail-back sale, they're always 1,000 or more. So it's never out, you're just out a few minutes to do it. PCP, great, always do your PCPs because they get that great, fabulous gift with a $40 purchase. You can't go wrong on that. Birthday discounts, I get birthday discounts out. That month I send out all my birthday discounts. At the first of the month, they got all month to use that discount up. It's always 25% off their order. Baby discounts. When they have a baby, they get a discount. I had a mom, she had twins. She says, do I get 50% off? I'm like, sure you do. I don't go for triplets, so I don't know, did have to 50. Basically, let's see. Thank you postcards. I broke that down because I think that's really important too. Whenever you have a skincare class and facial, even my reorder bags, I tuck thank you notes in there. Thanking them for spending an hour with me and taking an hour out of their busy day for me.
And I always ask them, is there any referrals that you know that you would love to have them, me do the facial on them? So I'm always get referrals on that way. I started with Carol English. She had a really good idea. When you purchase $50, you get one item half off you've never tried before. That's fabulous because my one items can be a repair set. They can be a sat hand set. So if they're thinking really good, which I just encourage it, that's a way that will get them on new stuff and they will love it. And a lot of times people won't have a party for you, but they'll do the discount. So that was Carol Engel's idea. Another one that I just started doing this past year was I did, that other idea of Carol's, that bumped my retail sales up over $3,000 to finish out national core sales at $42,000. So that really does pay off if you work it all year. But another one that I started doing was I took business cards and I just made the size of the business card and I put on, I was giving away, they purchased that month, they got the new Love Lash Mascara for $10. And so I've been doing something new each month and that's really starting to pick up. They're looking for that new item in the bag to try. I throw candy in there. I always throw samples every reorder. I've never put a reorder bag together in all these years and not had a sample of candy in it. So just little things that really help keep your business going, keep those customers tied to you, and just gives you a great business overall.
Senior Director Mary Cajon. Are you guys ready? Yeah. And are you excited? Because you know what? The customers are gold. And if you guys treat them right, oh my gosh, you don't get to worry about going out and finding business. They find them for you. Okay, so that's very, very important. One thing I want to share is when I came to Mary, right up here. Okay. One of the things that I learned from Cheryl Steinman when I first came to one of her very first events, she said, do you want to be a department store or do you want to be a boutique? And I listened. I'm still not right there? Okay. Do you want to be a department store or do you want to be known as a boutique? And I wanted to be a boutique. So what she had said, you can go to Walmart, buy the same pants that you can go to Victoria's Secrets and pay a lot more money for, but because they're in tissue paper in a pretty little bag, you'll stand around that mall and you'll swing that bag and you'll let everybody know where you've been shopping. So that's how I feel about my business, is that I wanted them to feel proud when they received the bag from me. And so I went to a dollar store that was going out of business and I bought this big case of tissue paper. And it was with me forever. I was known for this tissue paper with little roses on it. I ran out, but you know, there's more stuff at the dollar store. So I wrap everything in tissue paper and everything's all set up so I know where my ribbons and my tissue paper, and I carry bags and tissue paper in the back of my car. So if I run into something and I have something in my car, like a lipstick, lip gloss, whatever, I still put it in a pretty little bag with tissue paper. And the other thing is to always remember, in building your customers, you gotta be the best of the best. Because there's lots of consultants out there, they can go find another. So if you don't want to take care of their needs, or you feel like, I'm going to wait and see what sells before I put it on my shelf, you're thinking wrong. Because you gotta, if you love that product, and you're out there and you're revving it up and you're telling people how wonderful it is, they're going to take it. If you've got something sitting on your shelf too long, then you're not talking about it enough or you're not wearing it. And so you need to use what you're promoting. Now, it doesn't do you any good if you're wearing somebody else's cologne and they smell you and they say, oh, what do you get on? And you say, oh, you know, you name one of the other brands. I don't even know them anymore. I don't want to know. And so, but when it's your own, you can say, oh, well, here's my card, and if you ever choose to get that, I'd love to get that for you. And you know what you also figured out is whatever they want. Isn't that funny that that's the month special? Now, if they want a cologne, those girls at the post office,
when it gets around the time that I know that their colognes are gonna be running out, I just happen to run, they buy one, they get the second one for half price. And so that helps me, and also, one of the things is that I'm gonna go back to a little bit about wrapping that gift. I've always thought, if you watch that person, when she takes that bag from you, if it's wrapped up and it's got tissue paper, when I deliver these, always go in the morning. Make your stage that office or that place of where she's going to be. You don't take it at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. She's one of your first deliveries in the morning, 9 a.m. You are there. You're looking real good. You're handing her that. The people at the reception desk sometimes will say, is it her birthday? I can put a balloon on it because I want that thing bouncing so people are noticing it. And so I will take that early in the morning because they're not going to pop that balloon. They're not going to flatten that bag. That's your advertisement all day. And you want to give her about 5 cards, and I always say, I am low on cards because, you know, the people that I go to regularly, some people just do that because that's their feel better thing. And I want to be there to feel better. If they're having a bummy day, I have some people that call me because they're saying, you know what, it's been a bummy day, and I want to get some good stuff from you. And so I will go there, and I will take them something special. I put more than what they're expecting in their bag. The other thing is, if you're doing mail order or somebody goes away, you've got to make that package better. Now we've got direct ship, which is wonderful, and they put the samples and things in for you. But if you're doing any shipping on your own, it's really better to do direct ship cost-wise. If you're doing any shipping, you know how expensive it is. And that box has recruited people for me. Because when they open it up and says, hello, gorgeous, the director at the Sheridan, who's in charge of their activities, Nancy, said that became their family birthday box. And they kept sticking everybody's birthday gift in there. The box got kind of ratty. And she said, Mary, I need to get another one of those boxes. How can you get it? And I told her she had to become a consultant.
Is she getting a secret admirer over there?
She did.
You got a secret admirer?
She's learned now you really can just work some more practice.
That's awesome.
I just tell her I loved her, though, and I wanted her with me. Don't you also want to be the kind of person that people want to come to you and that they're not running away? Mm-hmm. I want to see you guys. I have a hard time with these things. I hear all the blur, and I don't want to blur in my life. But don't you want it that when they see you, they get excited, they want to hug you, they run up to you, they don't run away? That's how I want my customers to be. I love them, and I know that I would not have what I have in my life if it wasn't for these consultants and it wasn't for these customers. So I'm so very grateful for you, every one of you guys and everything that you do. Woo! But if you treat it special, it becomes special. You can slide that mascara in just a plain old bag. Make sure those boxes do not have any dents. If they have a dent, you get rid of that box. If they've got another ingredients, you push in the 2 ends, you flatten it down, you still can put it in this and they can read their ingredients. But you put it in a nice little cellophane, put ribbons on it, maybe a few little candies in there. The other thing that has been a known fact, that if you give them something to suck on, that they ponder, they think what they're reading, and it goes to the brain. So you need to do not put chocolates in the hot summertime. You put hard candy in then. But as it starts to cool down, I had my husband make these cute little lipstick things with the foil. Have you seen them? They're a lipstick, and you can put the different colors of foil paper on them, pink or red or whatever, and then this silver in the bottom. They just love those.
Why did you make them?
But if you do those kind of things, then that's going to help your business also. I love it when they give me referrals because I know that I've done a good job that they want to share. And it's just something that's very important for me to be the best that I can be. Do I lose customers? Yeah. Sometimes I do. A family member comes and I expect them to go with their family. There's so many customers, you guys, you don't have to worry.
There's plenty for all. If you're saying people aren't looking, you better reevaluate yourself, your tone of voice, how you're presenting the product. If it's a buy, people do not want to be sold to. They want to buy on their own. So remember that with your customer service. Another thing that I have been known for, I am a well-dressed bag lady in my town. I have my little bag and I put my little goodies in them. And when I'm out and about, I thank people for their service, whether it's a waitress or whatever. I didn't know this was going on in one of the restaurants that I go to regularly, but they literally will kind of have a little talk of who's going to get me today. I like that. I like that they want to take care of me and bring me my water and do those things, but I also want to do things for them too. I want them to know there's another way in life, whether it's these awesome products or this opportunity. So I have those things, and they're always asking me, what's in your bag today, Mary? What you got? What are you known for? Are you known for the lady that keeps harassing her, keeps calling and asking for the same thing over and over and over? Or are you asking, do you want to buy? Or are you saying, hey, I got another great thing and I would love your opinion? They love to give their opinion to you. But every time I come back, my thing is to get that newest product as fast as I can. These girls will tell you that I always say that these are brand new and we got them in Adrian and we're some of the first people to get them, so I want you to see what we got. Are you excited about it, or you just call up and say, I got some stuff, you want to try it? Because that's not gonna. If your business is failing, it's because of the way you're approaching it and how you're approaching it with the people. You gotta be fun. People be fun. And like I said, the only time I expect to lose somebody as a customer is if she becomes a consultant or a family member close to her comes in. The birthday month, this is another thing that I do to build my customers. On their birthday month, it's the month, it's not the day. On my very good customers, I let them buy as much Mary Kay as they want to buy from me at half price. And the reason why I do that is because I try a lot more things. I'm getting the money for that product. They're going to have to reorder eventually. They're not going to leave me. I used to just do the birthday, and then I got wise and started doing the birthday month. Another way to look at that is when they get done with their birthday month, then I never give anybody. Somebody says, well, don't they buy for the whole year? No, they don't. New stuff comes out. They want the new stuff. And so what I do is they will become a consultant with me in a lot of those places, those times, because they don't want to go back to paying full price. The other thing I do too with my customers is I have them if they send me somebody they think will be really good for me to have as a business partner, then I will let them buy as much as they want for 6 months from me at half price. And the reason why I do that is because she's going to try a lot more things. And she's also going to find me another recruit at the end of the 6 months because she doesn't want to go back to paying full price, or she becomes a consultant. And so have people out there seeking and searching for you. They want to. They know the best of the best too, and their office, they know people are telling them they're not making enough money. Make it easy. Some of the other things, I drive by people's houses when I'm in their area. Ooh, oh boy, I have a lot more I do. I drive by people's houses when I'm in their area, and I take the Mary Kay bag, and I put tissue paper and some gifts and things in there, little things, samples and things. And then I hang it on their doorknob. And so when I leave, there'll be messages and things like, oh, Mary, I was having a bummy day, and I came home and I found that. I even have some people who say, are you going to be in my area soon? They want to see what I got. I also, you guys for PCP, if you're not doing PCP, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because with the PCP, they're taking care of you, you're looking professional. You want to be the best there also. The other thing with that is I have a customer that came to me about a year ago, and she had told me her situations with other consultants that they wouldn't say they're going to order the stuff and they didn't. But the one thing was, she's a lawyer's wife, and her big thing was, am I going to get that little gift? Will I always be able to get that gift from you? And I said, you sure will. Also, when I'm signing them up, for the PCP, I always tell them that's my VIP list. And they'll say, oh, what's that? time to say the special things on your birthday, any parties I have at my house, new product line or anything, you get invited to my home. And I also tell them that they will get that little book and they get that gift. But I call it a brochure. I don't call it a lookbook. I call it a brochure, and I make it very special, dealing to them. So those are some of the other things that I do. Be out in the community, be givers. You know, if there's organizations that need different things, give them. Make sure you have everything labeled. Make sure you have all your information in there. I'm working some with the Habitat for Humanity now. They get a new home, they get a basket from me, and they get a 1-hour pampering. That's been doing well. And, oh gosh. Make sure that you're thanking your customers. It's so very important. Without them, you don't have a business. So you want to make sure that they are staying with you. Oh, wow. The VIP. You also need to know that I let them know about all your services that you have. Don't assume that they know. Holiday is coming. You need to be right now really breathing and speaking and everything about the holiday, and that you can help them do their shopping. And a lot of women don't get what they want. You got your customer list. You go to that list and you go and tell that man in her life, or honey, what she would like. And with their permission, you never do it without their permission, okay? Because that could get very sticky. So, I'm done. I'm done.
So the big question is, what are you known for in your community? You've gotten some amazing ideas this morning on how you present. Every single person has a sign on their forehead that says, "Make me feel important." And I used to picture a 3x5 card slapped on people's forehead kind of askew, just to remind me that whether it was the man on the street or the person packing my groceries, that was my job. You know how you best do that? I want you to practice this with the person next to you. You look them directly in the eye. Do that. Find a partner real quick. Look them directly in the eye. Cheryl, you get hurt. And honey, what did you do to have that baby? Good Lord.
Could be now.
Okay, now you stop with me. She got her.
Oh, okay. Right.
I want you to look directly in the eye of that person and say to her, now smile at her first of all. Smile. Look her in the eye. Smile. And say, you are so special.
You are so special.
God
Does not
made
say
you
that.
that way.
Meaning it that way.
And I would have been in error not to notice and tell you that.
I would have been in error not to notice and not to tell you.
How does that feel?
Likewise for mom.
So tomorrow morning when you get up and you're the only person in your bathroom,
But I want to give you some thoughts from National Sales Director Linda Tupin. Make no mistake that everyone who is a leader recruits. I want you to think about even our president. He was recruited by us. Okay? Basketball and football players are recruited. Being recruited is the highest form of flattery. And we are long past the notion that we're trying to get people under us, or worse yet, trying to get someone to join Mary Kay. I've been dragging her. I mean, think about yourself in high heels dragging this woman through gravel, trying to get her to join your team. And we don't want to be there. So I want you to think about who you're going to look for. The first thing, by the show of hands, how many of you recruited without trying the product? Okay, you are the exception. You do not know the business of exceptions, right? Okay, how many of you recruited without being a hostess? Okay, a little bit more, but still the majority is you have been a hostess once or twice, or maybe 10 years like I was. So you're gonna look for people. Number one, someone that's tried the product and loves it. Number two, someone that's been a hostess. In the March 2008 Applause magazine, National Sales Director Carrie Buster says, we need to take a careful approach at skincare classes and facials where women feel comfortable and not pressured. And she goes on to say, they typically want to know more, and that's when she says to share more. She believes we need to start reaching out to people who truly seem interested in us, who say, what do you do? How do you make your money? Gosh, it looks like you're having fun. And like Cheryl said, be sure to ask them, would you consider an opportunity with Mary Kay? Team budget building, like I said, does not have to be desperate. It should fulfill Mary Kay Ash's plan by sharing the product and then sharing the opportunity. That's working full circle, and that's smart working. The third thing you're going to look for is somebody that's emotionally centered. And I think we can all think about somebody that we know of that has not been emotionally centered. Women, those kind of women are women that no matter what is going on around them, continue to do it anyway. They milk the cows anyway. Okay? Number four, we're looking for somebody that has been maybe highly successful in something else. And that doesn't have to mean they're a corporate woman. That means they've been successful at running a PTA group. Maybe they've ran an emergency room. Maybe they've been a head of a civic group. Maybe you're a great mom. I mean, for Pete's sake, someone that has kids, you've got to be good. You know, you have to be good at being a mom. Or even a homemaker. So don't leave them out. A woman, number five, somebody that is a woman of their word. She returns your phone calls. She shows up when and where she says she's going to be. I mean, who wants to work with somebody that can't even, I know there's exceptions, but you don't build your life on exceptions, but who wants to work with somebody that can't keep her word? You would be dragging them through the gravel in your high heels. Number six, she has a strong work ethic. Number seven, she's honest. Number eight, really important. You guys are not in any order, so don't take that all as like, got like this, and this. But number eight is someone that likes people. I mean, if she doesn't like people, this is definitely not the business for her, okay? Number nine, you love spending time with her. Because really, you want these women with you for life. You just don't want them to come in and help you get your red jacket, or build a team, or become a director. You want them with you for life, just like you want customers for life. And number 10, you would be proud to introduce her to your national sales director or someone in the company. And I think right here that says it all. Don't you? Okay. So where do you find these ladies? Well, again, the best place is at a skincare class, because Mary Kay hostesses make great Mary Kay beauty consultants. I was a customer for 10 years, and I look back at it now, and my consultant, I thought she was just asking me out for lunch to be nice because she liked me. All those 10 years, she was trying to share the Mary Kay opportunity, and she never really got around to the last part of asking, and then I moved and we lost track of each other. But I was a hostess every 6 months. And my sister and I married brothers, and my sister did the parties the opposite 6 months. So was I a good hostess? Absolutely, absolutely. So, Mary Kay Ash herself said that if every skincare class that the beauty consultant lady discovered, and because you don't want to doubt her, don't doubt Mary Kay. There is somebody there. Your job as a consultant is to find out who that woman is. You need to discover her. Be a detective. So how do you find the time to schedule that career chat in? Well, first of all, when you have a quality prospect that fits in with qualities that you are personally looking for in a consultant to be on your team, because you've been specific at what you're looking for, ask her if she's ever considered doing this. Have you ever considered doing what I do? I mean, that's a, oh gosh, why not? And you can offer her for a free gift just for sitting down with you. I know one of the ideas that we we've gotten in the past is, you know, to listen for a lip gloss, to listen for a lipstick, but better yet, how about listen for a mascara? Because everybody wears mascara that I know. They may not wear lipstick, you know, you might have the right shade, and listen for a mascara that's really, really simple to have. Some of those in stock with you, and just share it. If you have time after your class, ask her if she's got time to sit down with you for about 20 minutes and have her hostess send me up things if she's not the one you're interviewing. And then, you know, share it with her. But if she doesn't have time, then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you follow up with her within 24 to 30 hours. Okay? And if you can't get with her in that time frame, my suggestion is to make sure you have some company literature or a company DVD or CD, and then give that to her as something to hold her over until you can get with her. So, what happens when you decide to share? You're sitting down with her. And I want you to remember that the interview sets the stage for your new team member's success. She's not your team member yet, but you're planting seeds. And what you say to her, the attitude that you present to her at that time becomes gospel truth. She doesn't know your national. She doesn't know your director. And what you're telling her can become very confusing. And what you tell her doesn't match up with what a director or a national or the company is going to say to her. So examples. Do I have to go to those meetings? Do I have to wear a dress? I heard all those Mary Kay people, they wear those dresses. I don't like dresses. Do I have to have inventory? I knew this girl that her director talked her into all this inventory. Do I have to hold those classes? I just want to get my products at cost. What you tell her is going to set her up for success or failure in this business and give her either a positive experience in Mary Kay or a negative one. Okay? Well, what I use for my interviewing, because I like to keep things pretty simple, is I use an interview guide. And I know there's a zillion out there, but I'm going to share with you really quick where to find this. As Judy said, I have to. And it's on a lot of our sites that use the same person to do our website, but I'm going to give you Judy's, www.nsd2003.com. 2003, NSD 2003, kind of rhymes, .com. And then over on the right-hand side of the site, when it comes up, there's a place that says training, and you're going to click on that. And then there'll be a file cabinet that will come up, and you want to click the team building file drawer. And when that file drawer pops open, you want to hit the tab that says interview guide tab. And this particular interview guide is about 6 from the bottom of that file. Okay? And where do we look? You know what? Since we're short on time, just ask one of your girlfriends, okay? Oh, and my battery's getting low on my iPad. Okay, now I really got to talk fast. Okay. I use the interview guide in conjunction with a recruiting notebook. And you know, we all kind of got away from some of those things, and we all kind of are coming back to them, because in a recruiting notebook, it really shows experiences and pictures, and especially if you're working with somebody that's really visual, they need to see that. And I'm not going to go through the recruiting notebook with you, but I'm going to tell you where to find it. Go to Judy's site again, education box, training link. It's in the center of Judy's site under Judy's favorites. And it's called the Legacy Recruiting Notebook. And again, if you just search around in there, you will find it. I go through that notebook. I'm using that interview guide to take notes. So that shows the interest of her as I'm taking notes. It also helps me remember things that she's saying about herself. But I always tell them that there's several things we're going to do, like 4 or 5 things we're going to do. The first, I tell her that I want her to tell her a little bit about me. Or tell her, I want her to tell me a little bit about her, and then I tell her a itty-bitty amount about me. I'm going to share some facts with her. The 4th thing I'm going to do is answer questions. The 5th thing I'm going to do is, because we've done all those other 4 things, I'm going to ask her if she'd like to work with me. So the first question is, tell me a little bit about yourself. And here's where you have to become a listener and really listen, because as she tells you about herself, there's going to be common things that are going to come into that. If she tells you about her job, what she's been in charge of, how many people she supervises, she is that deep personality, and she's looking for money in management. If she tells you about herself, she seems to be kind of high energy, but not necessarily. She's going to be looking for the prizes and recognition. She's an I. She loves the girlfriend stuff. If she tells you, like right off, about family and children, husband, parents, what she's done at church or school, she is that S personality. And if she's really analytical, she's going to be one that's going to ask you questions, and she's going to try to make you think she knows more about what you do than you know, and she's going to even probably research the company. And she is that C personality. So after I get through that, and I know we're running out of time, I have never used my iPad for notes, and I hit something and it flipped the page. I'm so sorry. Okay, so with that, after going through the notebook, I asked her if she'd like to work for me, or work for Mary Kay, or not work, you know what I mean, if she'd like to work with me, excuse me. And then if she says yes, I ask for the check. Do you want to pay for this by check, cash, Visa, MasterCard, whatever. If she hesitates a little bit, I ask her if she has any more questions that would help her make a positive decision. And if she still can't at that point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her 24 hours to make a decision. And I tell her I'm going to be calling her in 24 hours for a yes or no decision. She needs to give me a yes or no, so I don't drive her crazy. But the cool thing, and this is going to lead into Jennifer's class, the cool thing is in this notebook, at the very back part, it goes into inventory. And Jennifer is going to cover that. So, thank you.
Children from a dairy farm, and for 3 days she told me all about Mary Kay, and all during the 3 days it never occurred to me why she told me Mary Kay stories that she was offering me the opportunity until the 3rd day. On the 3rd day she finally said, I think you'd really be great at that. And honestly, this is me on day 3. Like, you want me to do it? Now, I'd already been looking at a recruiting notebook every day for 3 days. She told me all the stories of her unit. I kept pumping her with stories. Tell me about Mary Kay, and tell me about this cosmetic, and you really drive a big car. I pumped her with all this, but it never occurred to me for me to think about doing Mary Kay until she actually asked me. Now, that's how crazy this is. You know how you talk about Mary Kay at your shows, you talk about Mary Kay when you're talking out in the public, and you're always talking about Mary Kay, but unless you take a breath, put a comma in there, and say, and, by the way, I think you'd be great. Have you ever considered having a Mary Kay business of your own? Until you ask those very specific words, they don't know that all that chatter was meant as an invitation for them. How many of us have been discussing in our past where we've talked Mary Kay, and 2 months later that girl was so enthused that she signed with someone because it was such a great story, and she thought you told her such a wonderful story, but because you didn't ask her, she had to wait until the next Mary Kay person came along to tell them the story about how they had this fabulous beauty consultant. They heard all about Mary Kay. And actually, how do you become one? Put your big girl panties on, and directors, have we ever had that situation happen to ourselves? Look around the room. Happens all the time because we don't take a breath and say, and why not you? So I want you to know that yesterday, I apologize, that in your packet today, and by the way, there's still more packets. If you did not get your packet for today's handouts, there's still lots more. Has everybody got one? But there was if you didn't get one, put your hand up and Natalie will get you one. Oh, they're right here. If you did not get one, here's all the rest of them. There was enough for everybody. Okay, but yesterday at the director's meeting, there was one sheet that I did not put in today's packet. But I want you to know it's so simple that anybody can create one. Right there, Bonnie's got it. Bonnie's got it right there. Bonnie, keep your hands up, Bonnie. Look at this table, this whole table in here. Okay, there's a sheet that I want you to know that you can create, you can make yourself, and all that it says on here, and I got this from National Sales Director, Inner Circle Director, Angie Stoker, while we were on the Chinese trip. She says that every brand new beauty consultant comes into her unit when they get their PIN, and they are introduced to Mary Kay, they get a small picture, for $1 store
frame, but it has these words inside the picture frame, and every new consultant in her area gets one of these, and it says, $100 free Mary Kay if I do not offer you a second facial or the opportunity. Now, I know I have some longevity in the room. This is on the back of yesterday's. What I'm saying is, listen to the words. Anybody can take on their computer and put this together, and you can put it in a 5x7, an 8x10, whatever you want. These are the words. Write this down. You can make your own sheet. $100 free if I don't offer you a second facial or Mary Kay, or offer you the Mary Kay opportunity. Now, I'm sitting here to tell you, if Bonnie Stevenson, in her 35 years of Mary Kay, if every single woman that ever crossed her path, that she wore this badge that said, $100 free to everyone that I don't offer a second facial or the opportunity to. If we would have offered the second Mary Kay facial and the opportunity to every single woman that we've come in contact with, we'd all be national sales directors. We think we offered it, but unless we spoke the words, the assumption was incorrect. I'm going to talk about making money. Oh, I have to finish my thought about this. So, Karen Straub, at that fateful day on the 4th of July, 1978, actually had to say the words, Cheryl, I think you would be great with Mary Kay. I think Mary Kay would be great for you. Would you consider an opportunity with Mary Kay? And honestly, for 3 days, and it wasn't until that third day that I went, oh, me? And my husband walks in and says, are you going to do Mary Kay? Because he had just fired me at his insurance agency. And I said, you think I should? And Lee says, yes. And Karen said, Lee, I'm going to need a check. And Lee sat down and wrote a check for my starter kit, my first inventory. It's like a $750 check out of the checkbook that had no balance. Because we still had time to get home. We knew it wouldn't be cash for a couple days. And then she said, seminar is 10 days. Someone is going to have surgery. There's an extra ticket for a sold-out seminar. And I think Cheryl needs to be there. And Lee said she'll be on that plane. She'll be there. I went to seminar 10 days later, never, ever, ever having had my own facial or have ever given a facial. And I went to my first seminar blind, not knowing what it was all about. But had I not been offered that day, I wouldn't have said yes, and if I wouldn't have gone to seminar 10 days later, I would not have gotten Mary Kay to me. And let me tell you what my reward was. You would think my reward would be China and all the things that you know, that the pink Escalade, the relationships with people like Judy and John. You would think that my life, you would think that all those rewards would be enough, but that's not the bottom reward. The bottom reward would be that 30 years later, that I would have a Mary Kay consultant call me and say, I want to trade in a Liege. I would say to that beauty consultant, where are you? And she says, I'm in Kaysville. And I said, how'd you get to Kaysville? She said, my husband transferred up here. I said, oh my gosh, you're a beauty consultant. I said, what are you doing today? She said, I'm unpacking boxes. I said, my assistant just left me and I'm really desperate. I was in the middle of doing something like a fall dance, but I said, is there any way you could drop in and help me? Sure. She came over and I never let her leave for 12 years. And let me tell you about that Mary Kay assistant, Linda Davis. Let me tell you about her. She was raised in a Mary Kay environment from Virginia Roberts out of the Connie True unit. She was raised from the Mary Kay stock. She's old Mary Kay classic. She learned from Mary Kay herself, from Virginia Roberts and Connie True. She was the kind of woman that not only did she live a Mary Kay lifestyle, but she raised up her kids to be Mary Kay kids. And she raised up a Mary Kay daughter who was a mother of 4, a hockey mom, who when she found out that my kids had 6 late-term miscarriages and thought they would never have children, said, oh, for heaven's sakes, I'll have a baby for you. Do you know in the state of Michigan you can't be compensated for surrogacy? And she had to go to St. Joseph Hospital. She had to go through lots of painful tests, lots of shots. She had to give up her heart to be able to take Jim and Trish's 2 fertilizable eggs, and she carried those babies for 9 months and delivered to them Sadie and Skylar Steinman. Those 2 little girls today would not be on this earth and would not be blessed with those parents had it not been
for me on the 4th of July, hearing Karen Strong actually say, you need to do this, and sending me the seminar, and all those years later, living a Mary Kay kind of style, that I would find another Mary Kay mom who raised up a Mary Kay daughter who would so graciously and freely give 9 months to birth 2 babies for my children. One Mary Kay kid to another Mary Kay kid. Those little girls would not be on this earth today had I not said yes on the 4th of July, but I wouldn't have said yes unless Karen Strong would have asked me. We think it all the time, but rarely does it actually come out of our mouths because we're nervous or worried about what we're going to say. So I want to challenge you to either wear a badge or to put this on the table if ever you even drop by, or even single facial, or just if you're going to do striping, whatever you're doing, plop this out in front of us and say, you're not going to believe the offer Mary Kay is making. I got to give you $100 if I don't offer you a second facial with the Mary Kay opportunity. So, when would you like your second facial? I heard her say yes or no. And the second is, I've got to tell you a little about the opportunity and ask you if you've ever considered doing this, because, and make it fun. And ask everyone, and make it a game. And it's amazing how the dialogue will change, and you don't know just what will come from that for their lives, including your own. So then this is what I want to say about today about making money. Here's the thing. We get so involved with all the trappings of this business. We get so involved with organizing or not organizing, and booking or not booking, or recruiting or not recruiting. We get all caught up. But I want you to know that the greatest energy that you can infuse in your business is to be profitable. When you're profitable, there's an energy, your business becomes self-sustaining. People take notice. There's a respect level within your family. You are self-respecting. You are become a businesswoman. People regard you differently. You walk differently. You talk differently. So I want to share with you how you become a profitable Mary Kay consultant. First of all, the bottom line with making money is 10 appointments on your books at all times. And I want to little stretch this. I know you heard about booking, and I know that everybody sees the perfect booking is 6 people and a hostess, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can make as much money dropping in with 3 girlfriends at their lunch hour and just throwing the new stuff on the table, picking up their orders and leaving. You can make as much money sometimes on a birthday party. I mean, meaning, stop thinking you have to conform to what, quote, is a Mary Kay party. What I'm saying is when I say we have 10 appointments on your books, it's just that you're in motion to see the people. And many times, just making a penciling in, and by the way, yesterday at the director's meeting, we talked about the reason that most women are not where they want to be, and where they want to be is simply not a pen, but a pencil. And you need to give yourself the grace of a pencil with an eraser. And if you can take a pencil and pencil in when you want to have appointments and what your intention is, it's amazing that most of the penciled in things, 80% will hold. And you still have the magic of erasing and rescheduling. So let me tell you about penciling in stop-bys for strike tests. Sometimes, you know, if you're brand new, this is going to take maybe some practice. But for most of us who've been in the business 6 months or longer, we've all learned the delicate art of upselling. You know, you stop in, you do a strike test, you strike all the lip glosses, all the lipsticks, and all the pencils on the girl's arm. You ask her which 3 things she loves most. She points it out and says, so, I'm placing an order on Saturday. Do you want me to order those for you? Yes, I love it. Well, let me figure out the bill. You know, that comes to $45. You know, I got to ask you this question. How do you want that $45? Do you want it full price, half off, or free? You know, I feel that as my service to you, I'm always going to offer it to you free. Oh, remind me again how that works. Well, if you want it free, then you share your hostess credit. I mean, for $50, there's got to be 5 people there. If they purchase a minimum of $50, or that $75, whatever your hostess credit is. But you need to know your hostess credit so you know how she can get that free. And she says, oh, I'm just getting the kids back. school, blah, blah, blah. Well, then let's do a half off. I can't stand shipping, but let's do a half off. Well, how do I do a half off? We'll take this book to work, and if you get 5 outside orders, if you get 5 orders from people at work, you're gonna get your order at half off. It's a one-time shopping spree. She goes, oh, Cheryl, you know I'm so busy. I said, no, listen, honestly, it's okay. I'll take a full price. You can just write me a check. But by always offering her full price, or half off, or free, full price, half off, or free, you're always in the mode of upselling. In other words, you're still going to get the sale, but you might get a possibility of turning that drop buyer, that one woman, into a party. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes we only think we're booking, you're only in the process of booking bookings. Okay? The process is really just 10 appointments in the next 10 days to show the product, and there will be a life of each of those individual appointments into something cute. It's almost like this. It's almost like this Chinese bag. Start off with the drop by, right? Start with the drop by. She wants it half off. She gets outside orders. She brings you $100 in sales. Then you say to her, man, can I tell you about the opportunity? Because she sees how easy it was to sell those 5 outside orders, she might become a beauty consultant. Or she may come back and you say, hey, how about I call you in 3 months and instead of getting half off, you get it free. Just that it's always going to, one thing will lead to another thing that will lead to another thing that will open up doors. But you got it. But you got to have the 10, you got to have the 10 appointments. And if you're one of those people that you got to be perfect, or we get anal about that, and we think the commitment, I already have so much stuff going on. If I ink in one more thing, it's going to stop using a pen. Go get yourself a number 2 pencil with an eraser and start fantasizing. Where could you do your Mary Kay and pencil it in? It's amazing what will happen if you do some strategic penciling in. The odds are your inner voice will move you toward that. 80% of those penciled in things will happen. It is amazing what happens. The other thing that I want you to know as a little tip is if you were to plan the perfect team, make a list of 10 women that would make the perfect team, pencil them in. And then beside each of their names, write one thing, one characteristic that would make them perfect to be on your perfect team. And then look at the list and say to yourself, who would be the most fun to share the opportunity with first? Just one. Just pick one off the list of 10 and pursue that. And if it becomes positive, guess what? You'll start working through your list. Now, will you get to everybody? No, but because it's a pencil, you can erase. I just want you to know that I think that we get so caught up in the inking of our books and the inking and fearful of making a mistake or overcommitting, we don't understand the thrill and the fun of penciling in. So I want you to really think about penciling in appointments in your books, and I want you to give yourself the gift of having at least 10 penciled-in appointments by this Sunday night. And so I'm going to ask right now, I've got a couple of gifts here. I want to see in the room who's got the most appointments currently on their books. And I'm going to let you be loose. You got a birthday, you got a delivery, you got a facial, because you're going to learn how to upsell on these passing by. So if you have at least one pencil or inked in event in your books, in the next 2 months, I want you to stand up. You have at least one pencil event. Look at, okay, 2. Keep standing for 2. 3. 4. 5. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. 6. 7. I'll look around and applaud those with you at 7. 8.